Welcome to Phil Hodgson, the CEO of Calix. Could you please introduce Calix's patented core technology in simple terms and explain why it's such a breakthrough for industrial processing?
Absolutely. Basically, the core technology is a new type of kiln or furnace. It's a new way to heat stuff up. In a normal kiln or furnace, you put your fuel and you put what you're heating in the same vessel. What we do is we separate what you heat from how you heat. We do that with a rather large steel tube. So we heat this tube to over 1,000 degrees centigrade. We can heat it whatever way you like. We can heat it with fossil fuels. We can heat it with burning waste or biomass. We can heat it with electrons, renewable electrons. And so the first advantage of the technology as a kiln or way to heat stuff up is it's energy agnostic. So that's the first advantage of the tech. It's an industrial heat source and it's flexible in terms of its energy. But what do? We heat that from the outside, and what we heat goes down the inside. We need to be in the tube for about 20 to 30 seconds. So as the dust falls down through the tube over 20 to 30 seconds, the red hot walls of the tube radiate heat into those particles. This is a lump of limestone, and this is nearly half by weight CO2. But of course the problem with limestone is it's the major feedstock to make cement and lime. Cement and lime are responsible for 8% of global CO2 emissions, and over half those emissions are coming from the rock. So when the cement and lime industries heat up their rocks, the CO2 comes out of the rock and goes into the atmosphere. So think about the way we heat stuff up. We've got that tube, we've got the little particles of limestone falling down in the tube, and as the CO2 comes out of those little particles, it's got nowhere to go. It doesn't escape to the atmosphere, it doesn't get lost into the furnace gas because we've separated it by the tube. Basically, the CO2 comes out of the top of the tube as a pretty pure stream. And so what the technology represents is just a different way to make cement and lime that directly separates the CO2 that's coming out of the rock.